The first arc of Wings of Fire revolves around the war tearing up the continent. After the death of Queen Oasis to a scavenger, which is pretty much an ant in Dragon's terms, the kingdom has fallen into disarray over who their proper successor should be. There are 3 sisters in competition: the brutal Burn, the brilliant Blister, and the Bimbo Blaze. All of them have allies as well. The events of the arc is shaped by the war. The Dragonets are brought together by a prophecy that is foretold to end it. However, it is revealed the prophecy is fake. However, despite it being fake, the Dragonets, mainly Sunny, managed to end the war. But left alone without the Dragonets' interference, who would have won? Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so now. I post Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos regularly, and your support would be appreciated. I also thank my current subscribers for continuing to support me. I wouldn't be here without you. So now that we've gotten that over with, let's look at the 3 cardboard cutouts called princesses and see which one of them would have earned the honor of becoming a fleshed out character. Let's start with Blaze. By far, she is the dumbest of the 3 sisters and believes all of her problems can be solved by throwing money at it, as it may work with mercenaries, but it doesn't work on royal dragons like the Dragonets of Destiny who are trying to end the war and don't want their own palaces. Blaze could have never won the war without Glacier, who pretty much single-handedly ran the entire military campaign. Despite having the Ice Wings on her side, she never really pushed their territory out too far into the desert, as the Ice Wings are at a far corner of the continent. And pushing into the desert would have been dangerous to them, as they are ice dragons and they would have probably suffered from heat stroke. Glacier also didn't use her most valuable resource, an Animus Dragon, as she likely didn't trust Blaze. Even if Blaze had won, I don't think she would have liked being queen. She seems sated enough with still being a princess in Darkness of Dragons. She may have even passed the throne down to Onyx if she was pressed and was queen. Design-wise, Blaze is my favorite. I love her little cape and her white spine thing. What an iconic look. Now on to Blister. From the first book, we are constantly told that Blister is the smartest among the 3 sisters. However, Blister suffers a lot from a case of telling more than showing, as she's been shown to make some very, very dumb choices despite what we're told about her. Blister consistently loses her allies, such as the Mudwings and Assassin. She even manages to lose her last and only alliance to Queen Coral because she is unable to control their fear after the Summer Palace attack. I understand that the alliance wasn't technically ended, however I do not think they were able to regroup in time for the Brightest Night. Even literal children abandon her, such as the Dragonets of Destiny, and they easily pick up on her being evil. I actually have an AU where Blister, instead of dismissing Sunny, realizes that, hey, this is another SandWing and she's in the Dragonets of Destiny. Maybe I can manipulate her. And she says to Sunny, maybe you don't have your tail, but you don't need poison, you just need smarts, and temporarily takes her under her wing. The apprenticeship collapses after it is revealed that she tried to kill Kestrel, but Sunny is still nostalgic for that short time. During the meeting of the 3 sisters, it adds a tiny bit of tension because Sunny has history with 2 of them. Blister starts to fight Blaze, but Sunny says this is not necessary and hands the Eye of Onyx over to Blister. Only a surprise twist, it kills her and Sunny knew that would happen. Back to the actual canon and not just wishful thinking. Given how dumb Blister is, I find it likely that Moralseer may be behind most of her campaign, similar to how Glacier backs up Blaze's campaign. He's functionally the ruler of the Nightwings anyways, with Battle Winter being in lava and her daughter just not being a wet rag. And he's also more plan-oriented. He knows how to play the long game, such as the Dragonet Destiny. Blister is my least favorite of the 3 sisters. She doesn't live up to the hype, and she doesn't even have a quirky trait or a cool design to make up for it. Surprisingly, Burn has to be my favorite of the 3 sisters. She's much more than a trait of brain, bronze, or beauty. She actually has some other interests, such as her weirdlings. I mean, it isn't much, but it's something that distinguishes her. She's also likely the only one of her sisters who actually enacts her own battle plans, as she is able to function and command her army when Scarlet disappears, and she also has a love for bloodlust, which would of course cause her to study military strategy. How well she can actually use military strategy is another question. She tried to invade the Ice Kingdom with SandWings and Mudwings, and Mudwings require heat to breathe fire. Not the smartest plan. On their own, without any rulers assisting, I feel like Burn will win. Blaze would be easily overrun, as she is a puppet whose only redeeming trait is that she is pretty. And Blister, despite what we are told, is not very smart. Now that Moralseer is dead, it is unlikely that she'd be able to gain any more ground. Burn can organize her own plans, and her brutality would attract a lot of dragons, so she would win. However, the results with the other tribes assisting would be much different. Let me go over the scenario here. Ruby tries to leave the war, saying that their tribe needs time to heal and get used to their new ruler. Ruby is of course more inclined to peace too, and she doesn't plan on rejoining the war. However, the SandWings want revenge and start attacking them. This causes them to temporarily rejoin on the side of Burn. Before signing a peace treaty, Burn only has one tribe under her talons now, besides the SandWings. A slight alliance forms between the Nightwings, Rainwings, and Skywings where they all promise to be neutral to each other and defend each other if they are attacked. This may seem out of place, but Glory wants to establish that the Rainwings are more serious tribe now, under more firm leadership, so she tries to do this to demonstrate it. Glacier senses weakness and convinces Blaze to attack the Stronghold. The Stronghold stays firm, winning despite tremendous losses. The heat was her one advantage, Icewings hate it. Blister tries to attack the weakened Stronghold but is interrupted in Mudwing territory. The SandWings manage to win, but know the Stronghold isn't worth it and return to the ocean. Blister sends a message to Blaze saying that they should work together to take the Stronghold, and Blister would allow Blaze to live as a princess and an advisor. Blaze accepts it, being a queen is too much work anyways. Blaze and Blister combine forces to take the Stronghold, they succeed, and Burn is killed by Blister. Blister becomes Queen Blister. From there, all the tribes that allied with Burn are forced to pay penance and reparations, while the ones who allied with Blister and Blaze are rewarded, Blaze's tribes not so much. Due to the alliance between the Rainwings and the Skywings, conflict arises in the future, between them and the tribes that chose Blister and Blaze. That's just my take on how the series would have played out. I'm sorry if this seemed a tiny bit weird, I'm not the most well versed in strategy myself. If you like this video, then think about subscribing. I post regularly and your support means everything. To the people who are already subscribed to me, thank you so much for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without you. Now that all that's said, goodbye, peace out.